Booty.
Hello guys, it is Luigi Star 122 with
MexxiKID.
And would you like to tell us what we're playing today?
Oh boy, is it Left 4 Dead 3?
No, you silly goose.
What is it then?
A ripoff of a ripoff. Can you guess?
Street Fighter 2010?
No. Nobody likes that game.
I don't know. H1Z1. Wait, that's like the swine flu, right?
Jesus Christ.
No.
Where's that? Oh, that was H1N1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty tasty.
So, let's get into the basic facts here. H1Z1 was released on January 15th of 2015.
Yes, in a beta form, and is overpriced for its alpha, but we'll get into that here in a second. It's also made by Sony Online Entertainment. Okay,
So
well...
Does that explain why it's released only on PC and PS4?
Yes, it does. I don't think this game's going to see the release on Nintendo 3DS, so I'm sorry, guys. So, right now, the game is under the free-to-play page on Steam for $20.
20 bucks.
Yeah, $20.
But with this $20, you get early access, 3 event tickets, 2 crates, and 1 key. So I want to know what you guys think of that. Do you think that's overpriced, or should it be lowered down to like 10, maybe $5?
You should definitely let us know in the comments below. I think, personally myself, I think it's definitely not worth $20. It has tons of problems right now, but it is an alpha, so
yes,
it's kind of to be expected, I think.
So would you like to explain some of the problems so then they can get an idea of what's to expect?
Yeah, one of the worst problems I experienced so far is the, not really matchmaking, but the servers. It's been near impossible to play the last 2 days. There's a huge waiting list, and half the time it doesn't even work.
Yeah.
I mean,
sometimes if you open up the game and it does not load correctly, you will not be able to get into a server. I've had this happen to me a couple times. Also, there's another weird glitch where it'll give you like the servers, but it's like got some weird names on it. I've had that happen to me before.
like it was the code that was put in to the game, what the servers are, where the servers are anyway. But luckily, while we're talking, as we speak, there is a patch that has been out for I'm believing about a half an hour, and I'm just getting in it. So.
Oh, you are?
Yes, I am.
I'll have to download that later. Speaking of downloading, the menus I had to, they could be improved a little bit more. Right now it's just very plain.
Yeah, pretty much. You start the game up, and then it brings up the server list.
Yeah.
Then you choose your server and
Choose your name.
yeah.
Be in mind, you are only selected a few servers. You have to scroll down for a lot, but there's like maybe 50 servers, and then you can only use like half of them.
Yeah, about half. Yeah. So far, recently, I don't think we've had very many problems with getting into the servers though.
No.
So they are improving matchmaking.
They are improving.
That's good. I think what else? The inventory system. This has been one of the best I've worked with for a long time. Besides trying out DayZ, it's, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's very.
There's like a weight limit, basically.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like a weight limit for each thing. For your shirt, for your backpack, for your fanny pack.
I wear a fanny pack now. That's how I get through life right now. No, but like say you have jeans. You start with jeans, right? And that has a limit of 90 blocks or spaces. If you got cargo pants, it could probably be about 120 spaces or something like that. It's that kind of system. I think that works well in games.
Very well.
It's about nearly as good as Resident Evil 4 with that attaché case. having having to actually fit and everything and manage your inventory as you go. So, what else? I guess. What?
The options.
Oh yeah. Oh god. There is no options at the main menu. You have to actually go into a game and adjust your options, and I guess it's not too big of a deal.
Considering that even if you do lower your options, you'll still be able to play the game. You won't get kicked out of the server and then have to rejoin. Yeah, that's always a good part.
There's almost no loading after you've changed your graphics and stuff. It doesn't stop responding. But there could be a lot more graphic settings that you can mess with, like
shadows.
You should be able to turn those off. That's a big problem.
Big problem. Shadows.
What else? Okay, all it gives you is the resolution and the texture quality and the render dishes.
Render quality, field of view,
ambient occlusion,
overall textures, plain textures I think is what it's called or something like that. Mm-hmm. Then VSync and then some sort of like weird lighting or something like that.
Yeah, it's like the ambient occlusion is what it's called. I'm not sure what that exactly does. That's it for right now. If you can't run the game with what it has, you can't play it.
You can't.
Hopefully they're gonna release a patch soon that allows a little bit more. What do you want to call it? A little more graphic settings than there is now.
I want to take the time to talk about this. With servers, there is not just like one server. Like, for example, DayZ, where it's just all the same servers, just different people in it. No, it's completely different. You got server that has like PvP, no PvP, first person only, first and third person. There's probably a few servers that are the same, but most of the time you'll find different ones. That's what I really like.
There's even game options that allow, I think it's called like inventory wiping, which I believe is once you leave that game, that's it. And when you join back, you don't have any of the stuff you have, which is kind of cool, I guess. I mean, it keeps the game from being unfair.
What else do we have to talk about?
The map, or like the area, the environment. Wow, that's all I can say. That's how you sum it up. It's a huge map, kind of like what is it, Chernus or Cherno, and Electro from DayZ. How it's separated into sectors, kind of. I think this is more just one map with a whole bunch of small towns and little houses and ranches and stuff. There's cool things like intersection bridges, and there's tons and tons of forest. Tons
of hills, tons of everything except road.
Yeah, that's about it. There's no road. That's all there is.
Speaking of the map, the loot system. Ooh.
Oh God.
I was lucky to find a hammer in a car while getting mauled by zombies.
The only thing I've found is a couple blackberries. Needless to say, it saved my life. But I just kind of got hacked in the face with a machete after I picked him up. So that's still saying, yes, the other players are douchebags.
Yes. Some of them are. I've met actually a lot of people where they're just like, hey, man. And then, they're on their merry way. I'm just like, you're not going to try to kill me?
I had this guy actually come and save my life with a baseball bat. It was one of the coolest things I've ever. See? One of the better experiences.
See War Z people? Or Infestation people? Learn from them.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
I guess next we should talk about probably the gameplay.
Gameplay. Well, we don't have the hard iron computers to run it.
Yeah, we got pretty what would you want to call it? Average computers, honestly.
They're not meant for gaming.
No, they're laptops too, so it doesn't help.
If you have, if your computers are like us, you might as well just stick to Gary's mod and find a game mode closest to that.
Yeah, you probably should just go play South Park on Nintendo 64. Even though, putting that aside, the gameplay very similar to DayZ, actually. More similar to DayZ than I think Infestation was, and I've yet to play Rust, Nether, and all those kind of...
All the ripoffs.
The Dead or Lingering, and all the other ripoffs upon ripoffs of DayZ.
7 Ways to Die.
The Forest.
Well, the Forest...
No, not really.
Because that has a multiplayer, but...
But it's not about zombies, it's more about...
Surviving.
These weird creature things.
Cannibals.
So can we stop and give a moment to address... Thank you, The Forest, for not being the same.
Thank you.
I don't know if that stays like that. There's only 5 blocks. There might be a holster maybe that goes there, or a fanny pack.
Because there's the head, the Primera, which your flashlight is in,
so,
and then 2 other weapons,
and then Tridentary or something like that. Something weird.
Something weird.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you go around hitting crap.
Yeah.
There's wildlife in the game too. That's pretty cool.
I killed a wolf and a deer. Sorry, 80, I killed Chance.
Alright, next up, the graphics.
Since we can't run it, it look booty.
Pretty much on the lowest settings, which is where we can barely run it at. It's not horrible. It's not some of the worst we've seen. Definitely better than Ride to Hell. Retribution. I mean the trees. I think I don't know if this is only on the like lowest rendering distance, but they look like Nintendo 64 trees until you go to them, and then they become
beautiful
trees. There's tons of foliage in it, and there's sticks and berries and more sticks.
More berries. Also, speaking of the trees, if you have the lowest settings with the lowest resolution and low everything, the game will run fine, but the trees look like they're glitches.
Oh yeah, I've had some trees that have stuttered side to side.
They're just like...
They were moving.
They were doing the 2-step.
Yeah, they were. Still better than any of Little John's dances. Alright. Now we got presentation. Well, I think the presentation's actually pretty good. It's not selling itself to be the best game ever.
Yeah.
I think it's more of the game's meaning to impress you.
Yeah.
For being a free game later down the road, I think about a month from now, it wants to build its name. While it can. I definitely do think this game has huge potential. Once it reaches a higher state of like polish and more patches come out. Popularity definitely. This game, I think part of the disappointment for me was because I overhyped it.
Yeah.
I was sitting there waiting since the 10th to play it so much. Like, I was just sitting there, I'm like, oh crap, it's almost time. Yeah, definitely. I mean, well, any finishing thoughts with...
Beautiful game. It would be a beautiful game if I could run it. Additional notes. Pressing the E button makes you lag.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. That's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in a game.
Also, if you go to search something, there is a small delay. So be careful. Yeah,
there's delays in some of the button presses, which will also probably get fixed. I wouldn't be surprised. I've also hit a zombie. Well, not really hit. I went and swung at a zombie, but my hand went straight through his head and did nothing to him. He ended up biting me. I was bleeding pretty bad. I guess my verdict is a 5.5 out of 10. Almost slightly below average, I think. I mean, the game, like I said, it has great potential and everything. but the fail of launch it had did not. And the additional pay-to-win elements, like they said they weren't going to have, the airdrops and stuff, that it's a free-to-play game that's like DayZ. That's like if DayZ added a market where you can buy guns and ammo straight from the market, or even a tank. It's almost unfair in a way. But I mean, the game has potential and everything. The game's fun from what I've played. Lots of running, so you might want to do the auto run. Definitely not worth $20 though. You can definitely tell it's in the beta stage, and
alpha.
I surely hope that this game does better later down the road, and I hope it does. But Sony Online Entertainment, you failed us. Every other game you've launched, I don't think was nearly as bad as this. What about you? What do you think?
Well, considering that we took all the facts and put them together, I give it a 6. That's our final. That's that's the end of the review.
This is MexxiKID
and Luigi 122.
And remember, stay classy, not assy.
Also, check us next week where Helen Keller decorates her crotch areas with floating stars. See you next week.